3, 2, 1.
Welcome, gamers.
I'm Bob World Builder.
And I'm Grace World Destroyer.
And this is the World Builder Club. Every month this year, I will be posting a prompt, a tiny teeny writing challenge for you to participate in and to help others participate in by giving constructive feedback on their submissions as well. And so what we're doing today is just reading a bunch of awesome submissions from people on the very first prompt that went out at the beginning of January. And then we will also be having a segment where Grace World Destroyer here gives advice on how to add a little more chaos to someone's game, from a listener. So at the end-ish of this video, we'll have a little information about the next prompt, so you can participate in this coming month and maybe be part of the next episode, as well as instructions for how to get a little chaos in your game. So for right now, I'm just going to read the instructions from the first prompt so you know what the heck's going on, and then we're going to dive right into a bunch of these submissions. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good, Bob.
Woo!
World Builder.
Okay.
Let's do it.
This first month, I called the prompt the Anti-Doom Scroll. Punny title might be confusing. Your first challenge is to design one magic scroll with a fantastical description. Your scroll can be anything except a rolled up piece of parchment. It's a carved stone slab, or a jar of weird paint, or a leaf with runes formed out of its veins. Quote, but what makes this a scroll rather than a typical magic item? That's what you all sound like, by the way. It's got one use of a spell, and then it's gone. So here were the actual instructions. Write 1 to 3 sentences describing your magic scroll. Can be terse, incomplete sentences. Use 2, or at least 2, different senses in your description. Sight, touch, sound, odor, taste if you're feeling funky. And then, bonus points if you name it or just assign it a spell from any RPG of your choice. And you also had to reply and give some feedback to somebody else. So that's what we're doing today. And we are now going to dive right in, I think. So I'm going to start with the very first, just going in chronological order, and then stop when we feel like it and go to the next segment of the podcast.
This podcast is based mostly on vibes.
Yeah, heavily vibe based. And like I said, this is, well, I didn't say, but I guess I've been saying to Grace is this is the newest iteration of our couple podcasts that we've done. And yes, I think with each one, we've gotten
it gets more and more relaxed.
Yeah. Although I will say it's what our characters could do. Actually had a lot of structure. We had multiple segments going on.
Yeah,
but yeah, this one I think is just supposed to be really we're just brainstorming, trying to spark creativity is the idea, and showing how maybe that can just be as casual as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be anything taken super seriously. So, first comment from the Great Hoopla just said, very excited for this. Though it might have some typos because I actually in the original post said 2025 everywhere instead of 2026. Anyway, first actual submission is from B.A. Tozak, and they called it the Deck of Missiles. The cards of this deck slide easily between your fingers, the familiar images of cups, stars, wands, and swords quickly flickering by with the familiar whisper of a shuffle. Instead of using them for card games, you may invoke their magic by speaking the word Ambara. This deck will crackle to life. Once activated, you may throw up to 7 cards from the deck at 1 or more creatures within 120 feet, each card dealing 1d4 plus 1 force damage. If the magic of the 7 cards are used in a single day, there's a 5% chance that the deck will vanish and teleport somewhere else for fortune to smile upon someone else.
They slide easily between your fingers. Why are they so slippery?
I don't know. That's a good point. My comment on this one, I did reply to this one, was that it sounded a little too much like a magic item to me, rather than a scroll.
It's not a single-use item.
Or yeah, because it didn't include a spell. There
It
is
is
a
a
chance.
spell. It's magic missile.
Like true, and I say there is a chance of it vanishing, but this is like it's got to be you
It
use it
has
and
to
it's gone.
vanish.
So
Yeah.
maybe my edit to this would be that each card maybe is like single use, and
Yeah,
eventually
that
you
would
deplete the deck.
that would make sense.
Yeah, and actually yeah, and so
But
they
still, that's 52 uses.
if you start with the whole deck, if it's playing
Oh.
cards,
Maybe if you use a certain amount in a day, it still teleports away, but it always
Yeah.
maintains the number of cards it had when it teleported.
I
So
think
over
it's like
time, it reduces to zero.
every single card. Like once you use it, it's like somewhere else now. So maybe somebody else
Oh.
just finds
So when you
these
find
cards
it, it
one at a
only
time.
has 30 cards left.
And if you collect all 52 cards, you can form the House of Cards and live in it.
Just a giant nuke.
Oh yeah, maybe it just
Just
explodes.
blasts off.
I mean, honestly, that's a pretty good world building tip. Just make it explode. I think is
Yeah, that's more like a world destroying tip.
well, it doesn't have to be a whole world. It just adds a little excitement to anything, you know?
Yeah, but explosions.
Yeah, okay. It is inherently destructive. I'll give you that. All right. This next submission was from R.A.J. Kevis, one of my top repliers for helping edit the playtest draft of Ketchum RPG, but we don't have to get into any of that right now. He gave 3 different versions of this. I think the first one here is like a more generic, and then a second one for Daggerheart, and a third one specifically for 5e. Do you have a preference for which we should read?
Are they all the same item?
Yes.
Just read the generic one.
Okay. So this is... Oh, actually, you know what? I think it's like the description first, and then the mechanics for either game.
Okay.
So here we go. Oh, and that was another thing. That first one, that was definitely more than 3 sentences or whatever. So anyway, here we go.
Well, that's okay. We can.
But that was the limit.
We can reward dedication to
Within
within
reason.
We don't need 5 paragraphs.
There's something to it being concise too. That's important. And so this one, we got some semicolons in here. It's also a little on the long side, but I think he pulls it off. So, the proof tassel Dow.
Proof tassel
Yeah.
Dow.
A plain, well-balanced Dow. And again, I
Dow?
wish I looked up what this was. DAO? I think it's like
DAO.
I think it is just like a tassel. So anyway, we're going to continue. Maybe someone in the comments can comment, tell us what this is. Or we'll discover as we read the description. A plain, well-balanced Dow with a dull, honest edge. Okay, I think it's a little knife. When identified, it reads as mundane steel, cool and faintly oily to the touch.
Why is everything slippery?
Until the long silk tassel whispers as it moves. More whispers as well. The braid, dense with weight, and the soft rasp of cord against cord. Each knot is a historical proof. Positions encode numbers. Numerical sequences resolve into proofs so that when the tassel is sharply drawn and one knot pulled free, the silk warms, smells faintly of fabric and rose water, and the proof collapses into a single spell before the braid slackens into useless threads.
Very poetic and mathematical at the same time.
I agree. I really like the combination of like themes happening here, even though I can't quite personally. I'm not great at picturing things in my head.
It's a little hard
It's
to
like a little
wrap your
complex.
head around as a description.
So, but maybe we learn a little more from. I'm going to read the 5e one actually because there's more information here. Okay, weapon, scimitar, boom. Uncommon, requires attunement. So I will say this, also framed as a magic item, I guess. Oh, or do scrolls in 5e have those same kind of tags?
What was the tags again?
This does say weapon, scimitar, and then uncommon.
They do have
Okay.
rarity tags.
Okay. Anyway, so this Dao functions as a mundane scimitar, 1d6 slashing, finesse, light, until its tassel is invoked. Okay. As a bonus action, you may pull and unravel one knotted segment of the silk tassel. Doing so allows you to cast a single spell chosen by the DM as a spell scroll of first or second level, such as Ceremony. Once the spell is cast, the knot unravels into slack threads, the tassel loses its structure, and this feature cannot be used again.
I can't. So it's.
You're pulling threads
Yeah,
off of like
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
the hilt
yeah, I
of the
get that.
sword. Yeah.
I kind of think rather than fully putting the decision in the hands of the DM, it should be a random table.
Oh yeah.
Because if you have a DM that is kind of like
Well, I
not.
also say the DM is introducing this item at some point, so
Yeah,
like they
that's
know
true.
it's gonna come to play.
But
But it's still
ceremony,
cooler
as an
to
example, is like that's only useful in
in
a
certain
small
situations,
handful
right?
of
It's like literally like
situations.
a wedding or a funeral and
Yeah,
stuff like
so
that.
it's like if you could really choose any spell, you could, if you were being a jerk, you have the option of choosing to screw over your players and waste the item.
Just make it magic missile
So
again.
just kind of eliminate that ability and just make it a random table.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but like a table of spells.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah. And also I like how this is an item where okay, the whole thing doesn't vanish when it's used. Like you still actually have this
Just
sword then, but you
yeah.
just use this
I
property
do like
once.
that actually. Like you get to keep the sword, it's just the tassel
Yeah,
itself that goes away.
is a one-time thing.
So you get to have a cool sword.
Okay. Here's, I don't remember if I'm reading. Oh, yeah, I did read names. So we're going to keep reading names. From Jason ML. Baden's Laboratory Checklist. A 3x3 cardstock note with a list of text on it. This text is difficult to read with the ink smeared in several places. It's folded into quarters. You feel a waxy film covering it when folded, protecting it from water damage. The checklist can be used once for a single investigation check. When used, you get advantage. Using it in this way further smears the list, making it useless. So besides it being another slippery
Yeah,
item.
it's slippery. It's also not a spell. It's a single use
Okay, true.
magic
It is a
item.
single-use magic item, but I think that's kind of more
Yeah.
the theme of this.
Yeah, Baden's laboratory list. And it gives you advantage on an investigation check.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's some more context here. Note, you could add other variants to this, changing the name to someone else in your world who creates things like this, and changing the skill to something else that fits, like history, nature, or religion. The idea is that the note provides a PC with information they need to help them. It's also fun as it allows the player to do a bit of world building and explain what they find on the paper that gives them advantage. And finally, it's not so powerful as to be something you can't hand out more frequently, a fun thing to add wherever scraps of paper and scrolls might be found.
Yeah, so that's good because when I'm running a game, I'd be like, oh, go to a library and research this thing. And that kind of, if you don't want to do something like that, it's like you have this magic item, it might tell you the exact information that you need. So just make an investigation check with advantage using this item.
Yeah.
And it can be used on the road. They can just find it somewhere random. Maybe there's multiple of this item
Yeah.
that they can have or find. Each one is single use, but this, who is it, Baden?
Yeah. This
Baden
was
had a
Aiden's
whole like
laboratory
notebook,
checklist.
so maybe there's a bunch of pages that you could find.
Yeah. They commented on their own thing with a bunch of other ideas, like for different skills. And I'm realizing I should be reading some of these comments as well, because one on the previous item we just read, the first one was, I love that the DM chooses the spell. That might become interesting depending on your DM. Do they have to cast the spell? Because you best believe I would be choosing Fireball 100% of the time, LOL. So.
And is it fireball centered on yourself, or is it like a wild magic thing?
And you know what? I want to read this other comment here because there was this weird situation where this is all on Patreon, by the way. Every World Builder Club post is going to be a free Patreon post, so anybody can check it out. And that just consolidates them all, so it's not like some on YouTube, some on Patreon, whatever. And the idea, but the problem was, for some reason, Patreon hid this one comment. And, like, I don't know what was in here. And I even messaged the person to be like, hey, just want to let you know, I didn't, like, delete your thing. And the only way to unhide it would be to, like, change my entire comment settings. It's not like YouTube where I can just approve it individually. So, anyway, this was the dice of insert relevant name from Emily. This ordinary pair of 6-sided dice is made of antler, but they are a little heavier than you might expect for their size. If you roll doubles with them 3 times in a row, they will cast the spell blank. See one idea below. Once cast, the dice lose their magic and their density and become an ordinary set of dice. And so the spell they had in mind was Parcheesi dice. Cast the spell Teleport on the user, causing them to be transported to the place they last slept unless they succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom save. Up to 7 creatures within 5 feet can choose to fail a Wisdom saving throw and be brought along. Otherwise, those within 5 feet must make a DC 15 Wiz save to not be swept up in the whirl.
So are they all based on, like, different games? Like Parcheesi,
That's a good
Monopoly?
question. You know, let me go back up to the original prompt and I can explain this a little maybe. I specifically said, for inspiration, I recommend literally just looking around, picking a random object or material, and pretending what about it could be magical. Random tables are great for this too. Yeah, and if it wasn't clear enough, World Builder Club is about sharing your cool ideas. So keep it human-made.
Okay, so, but what are the odds of rolling doubles 3 times in a row? And how long can they try for? Like, can they just sit in a room rolling dice for 2 hours until they get 3 doubles in a row?
That's interesting. Well, I guess the idea is you're probably using them as game dice. And so maybe it's, yeah, like, in world, this is like in a tavern, gambling hall, whatever. So people are rolling these dice as part of a game. Maybe.
So they don't know they're magical in this
I don't know.
situation?
They might not. Depends on who's rolling them, I guess. Maybe one person at the table knows, and then they're just playing their own game with the other players of that game.
I would probably just change it, maybe depending on the power of the spell. Like, if it's something like Firebolt, you only need to roll 1 set of doubles for that to go off. But if it's like Finger of Death, it has to be 10 doubles. I don't know.
It's another very good case, I think, for a random table to be used to determine what's going off, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's from somebody else who already commented. Here's one from, however you actually pronounce it. Not Beetlejuice, but like the name of the star constellation. Yes. I don't know. That's a great challenge. I'm looking forward to all these ideas. How about that? A chunk of dark green bark, rough to the touch with occasional thorns.
Finally, something rough.
Not slippery. It smells of moss and wet earth. Still smells wet. If you prick your finger on one of the thorns and throw it away from you, it grows into a 20-foot radius circle akin to the spell Spike Growth.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah, I really liked, boom, like this one was concise, it gets me being very like nature foresty themed, and it's just like very clear, single-use spell.
What's that one tree that just grows spikes for no reason?
Black locust,
yeah,
I believe,
it's like
is
a
one
black,
near us
black
that does.
locust tree.
Yeah.
Locust?
Yeah.
Locust.
Yeah, with a T.
Like
like
locust.
the bug. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's it. Very simple. I like that one. I think I was the only one who commented on it. No, yeah, simple but cool. I like the blood cost. Oh, okay. That's what somebody else said.
So does it cost you a hit point, or is it literally just
it
a
just
drop
says prick
of
your
blood?
finger,
Yeah,
so I would,
that's fine.
Maybe in like 5e may as well take a hit point because you have freaking infinite
yeah,
hit
why
points.
not?
But that if you're playing, anything old school, probably don't lose a whole hit point for that.
You could do it with Into the Odd because your hit protection restores after like 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. From Dave Gregore. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The Sands of Time. This accordion folded origami structure feels gritty like sand,
Rough again.
hissing as grains seem to fall within when it is stretched, its surface etched with runes, glyphs, and sigils of many languages. When pulled to full length and twisted to lock, the etchings ignite, transforming into a shimmering hourglass, its sands sparkling like stars as they pour through the glassy frame. For up to 1 minute, the bearer must read the inscriptions aloud to maintain the effect. Up to 3 targets within range must succeed on a moderate acumen save. I guess this is for his own game.
Okay.
But, wisdom, whatever. Or take 1d6 cosmic damage and become paralyzed
Cosmic
until the
damage.
end of the next enemy phase, repeating at the start of each player phase while the sand still falls. If the hourglass is broken before the sands finish, it detonates in a shockwave,
Okay, good.
affecting all creatures within far range who must make a hard acumen save or be paralyzed for 1 minute, repeating the save at the end of their next turn to break free.
There is an explosion involved.
Explosion is a plus, not slippery.
Is it only single use? Does it specify?
It's... Okay, so if it's broken, it was the last sentence. That's when it could explode. But for up to 1 minute, just reading the inscriptions... Yeah, I feel like if it is not broken, potentially it can go back into an origami structure instead of this hourglass. But I don't know. Doesn't specify,
Now I gotta know.
I think.
What is cosmic damage? Is it gravity? Is it your sanity draining away?
It sounds maybe like a version of a psychic damage. You're becoming paralyzed from it. This is the Sands of Time is the
Does
name of
it
the item.
attack your soul directly?
I would say it sounds more like, metaphysical, but I don't know if like a soul is the right word, because
Does it drain your chakras?
just your consciousness. Yeah, I don't know. But I love the visuals of this one. And I think that's what I had commented on this. Somebody else asked, what RPG is this for? Yes, and this is Dave's Grognard TTRPG is the name of it. Okay. I'm going to go to the next one. Oh, yeah, I think I really like this one. Gloves of Fist to Face. These rough-tanned hide gloves are warm to the touch and have sparkling stones on each knuckle. If you peer into a stone, it looks as if gray smoke is erupting from within, swirling and broiling under the surface. Casts Fist to Face. You activate the gloves by slamming your fists together. For 1 turn, each unarmed attack you make is with advantage. Once cast, these gloves turn into ordinary knuckles. And he said, since that doesn't, like, knuckles don't exist in D&D, it could be like basically a club is what he's describing here. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the humor of the name.
And I'm liking the ones that you get to keep it as like a weapon after.
Yeah. And I did comment on this and said I think he followed the format the best of like, it was really short, good sensory input in there, and then boom, just like spell.
And it's got to be like every punch connects with the face. Like no matter what.
Oh yeah, and
Every
actually,
time you hit.
Yeah, the other comment here from so that was from Kyle, but the comment is from Jeff Chocolate, who says, "Love the spell. Would be cool as a monk spell or feature. My headcanon is that the stones bring your fist to their face like a magnet."
The stones that are magnetically attracted to faces.
Okay. And this was a really fun one. From Catherine Willis. My scroll idea. The Candle of Instant Birthday. A candle... I also love the idea. We'll read it in a second. But I love the idea of like it's not your birthday. It like becomes your birthday.
And is it permanent?
Anyway, so a candle with the spell incantation inscribed around it, so around the candle, festive, right? In festive stripes and colors, If you run your finger over the inscription, you can feel it's carved into the wax. When the candle is lit for the first time, it gives off a sweet scent, and an instant birthday party appears. Table, balloons, cake, delicious foods, everything you need appears. All you need to do is invite guests and pick a place and time. When the candle burns down to nothing, the party is over and everything vanishes again. As a busy
No cleanup.
They wrote, as a busy mom with a birthday party to enact today, one of these would be a dream come true. I love that. And another comment here. I hear that, sister mom. It would be awesome if there was a way afterward to call the cleaning fairy to take care of the mess. Yeah. Maybe the candle burns until you blow it out, making the end of the party, and a band of grumpy brownies shows up to sweep everything into a bundle and disappear with the last of the smoke.
That is a really cute one. I like that.
Yeah.
Does it make a clown appear, though?
Uh-oh.
If you wanted to make it worse, you should throw a clown in
If you
there.
need a clown, I guess it would be there, because it's everything you need. Oh, boy. And I knew... Oh, wait, yeah, this is one that I think okay, this next one. I specifically had commented on it saying, extremely flavorful. Haha. And I know Grace will love this one. And I elaborated, but here we go. This is from Jeff Chocolatey. New DM here. Apologies if this doesn't make any sense. Laughing face. Josie's jar of pickles. This jar of ancient... This large jar of ancient pickles swirls with a wondrous, sparkling rainbow of colors when shaken.
People make glitter pickles now.
It is rumored
You shouldn't, but you can.
that due to Josie's secret fermentation process, every being capable of taste experiences their own unique flavor, ranging from fresh salmon to volcanic ash. Consume the pickle's blessing. Choose to either eat the pickles or chug the juice using an action. On a successful Constitution saving throw, DC 18, the consumption is completed and the blessings are gained. On a failed saving throw, the remaining pickles and juice evaporate, leaving an empty standard jar. If the pickles are successfully eaten, then the juice evaporates and you have advantage on all rolls pertaining to your physical abilities until you complete a long rest.
Power pickles.
If the juice is successfully drank, then the pickles evaporate. And you have
they
advantage
ascend.
on all rolls pertaining to your mental abilities until you complete a long rest. And another comment here from J. Kevin Carrier, frequent commenter, who says, makes perfect sense to me. I love that it can have different effects depending on which part you use. Just for fun, I might impose some minor penalty if they fail the con save, perhaps a point of exhaustion or something else to indicate the pickles/brine didn't go down well.
Yeah, it's not fun to choke on pickle juice. it can really burn your esophagus.
I just
and
really,
nostrils.
I think, was immediately taken by this large jar of ancient pickles. Because it's
it's a good ferment if it lasts forever.
Well, yeah, and what a awesome way to have it. This is a thing you're finding in a dungeon somewhere. This was buried with, who knows who.
It's just clutched by a skeleton.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. In the spirit of not cutting a lot, I see our battery's already draining here. So I feel like we'll maybe do one more of these, and then I'm going to switch batteries for our segment on introducing some chaos. There's a lot of comments left here. Like I said, I don't know if I said it at the beginning of this recording, there were about 50. So thank you, everybody, for all the submissions.
Yeah, thanks.
We can really only get to a few here. I'm going to read one more from J. Kevin Carrier. So here we go. The gauze of gaz. This narrow roll of coarse, sticky fabric, the opposite of slippery.
Why is it sticky?
Is covered in tiny runes, drawn in what appears to be dried blood. It takes an action to apply the bandage, and there is always just enough of it to bind the wounds of one creature. Once in place, the runes flash briefly, then disappear, healing the patient for 3d6 points. And I said, health potion, but with the visuals makes way more sense, way more sense than a health potion. And it seems way more feasible to slap on the bandage in one action than to chug a potion. Trust me, LOL.
Or even, maybe you could do that as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Because you're not
physically
drinking something.
Yeah, this you're just slapping it on. And somebody else Cam commented here. Gotta love pre-used medical supplies.
With blood already on them.
Yeah.
Hope you got your Hep B shots.
Yeah, gotta wonder who's Gaz. I don't know. The gauze of Gaz. Also,
The gauze of guys.
was there gauze nearby you, J. Kevin Carrier?
And was there blood already
was
on
there
it?
blood on it? Okay, we're gonna cut here for the battery.
Now I can finally sniffle freely because you're going to cut all this out.
Okay.
Ba, 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 ba.
We're back. Yeah, I was thinking it would be good to get a little like music stinger, not a whole song like the last one, but just like a little something, and then some kind of like animated little like swishing title card for like World Builder Club podcast.
You don't like ba da ba ba ba.
It's maybe not quite legally distinct enough from ba da ba ba ba.
It's different.
I'm literally the same ba da ba.
It's different.
It's just a different like note there at the end, I think.
Mick Dolenz. I love the it.
Okay. So as I was just saying, yeah, there were probably 40 other plus like awesome scrolls in here. So thank you so much to everybody who commented. I will link this original January post of all the scrolls if you watching the podcast here want to check out any of the other submissions. And again, we will also be linking the prompt for this month because I don't want you to comment. Well, I guess I'm not even saying what the next thing is yet. You're gonna have to go to the next post to see what it is, and that's where you'll comment your ideas. But what you will comment in the comments of this YouTube video or this Patreon post, whatever, is some information about your game, your ongoing campaign, your players. It shouldn't be like pages and pages worth of backstory here, of context, but enough context that Grace will be able to prescribe
chaos,
shake it up, how to just get in their stupid little heads.
And probably the most useful piece of information you can give me is who is the main antagonist, so that I can keep it in theme with what's going on there.
Yeah, we're learning here as we go. Yeah. We only got one submission for this, so we're just going to do one. In future episodes, maybe we'll do more of, read more of these as well. But this comes from Vic Morris, who said, this looks so much fun. For the chaos, our table is running Kobold Press's Scarlet Citadel, a classic dungeon crawl in an underground dungeon, levels descending. Our party has a bearfolk druid, crowfolk rogue, Carol bard, which I think is a typo,
it's a cat person.
Yeah, shadow elf fighter, halfling wizard, minotaur barbarian. And I actually want to pause here because I feel like I didn't properly introduce this enough to also say the idea of this segment of the show was to run contrarian to what I feel every other RPG podcast under the sun does, where there's either a segment or the entire show is just RPG advice, right? We wanted this to be like, okay, we can do RPG advice. Heck, we used to do that a lot more often. But now it's specifically about kind of like just how to like screw it up a little bit. How to make it crazy instead of just more fun, which is the true World Builder brand.
And it's a boutique experience for you. It's custom. It's bespoke.
Yeah. So some handcrafted chaos from Grace Roll Destroyer.
Homegrown,
he doesn't
organic,
get any better than that. Free range.
Locally sourced.
Sustainable. Yeah.
All that.
Okay. So
Just got to the end of the party list.
Right. So I'll refresh that briefly. They're running Kobold Presses, Scarlet Citadel, a classic dungeon crawl module, I guess. Our party has a Bearfolk Druid, Crowfolk Rogue, a Catfolk Bard, a Shadow Elf Fighter, Halfling Wizard, and Minotaur Barbarian. In the second level, they thought it was going to be too easy, and I did something a little too much as a reaction.
I wish I knew what that was.
They don't say what it was. Now, it scared them so much, they have gone on a recruiting mission to get allies against the BBEG. They have been to the Shadow Plane, Baba Yaga, and now questing into the Labyrinth. They are having a blast and getting stronger. I am planning to ramp up accordingly, with some better sense this time. What more chaos can we bring? Oh yeah, the Cat Bard did get a little full of himself and proposed to the town witch. She said yes, and her grandmother is the grandmother, Baba Yaga. So, ...
Mm-hmm. So I had a couple ideas for this, and which one you might want to use depends on your party's tolerance for bullshit. And I'm going to mostly use the part of the catfolk being engaged to this town witch, because this is a personal connection to this character, and therefore has the most potential to be the most devastating.
Yeah, I would say it's like kind of the first sort of thing to exploit, right? Like that's why part of D&D culture, people would like not even want their characters to like have parents and families and stuff, because it's just the easiest thing for the GM to mess with.
So the first idea is give Baba Yaga the maiden mother crone aspects. So Baba Yaga is the crone, the maiden is this town witch, right? So the town witch is Baba Yaga in one of her aspects. The cat bard perhaps finds this out on the wedding night, and if he, of course, rejects Baba Yaga in her grandmother form, she's not going to be happy about that, and there will be punishment. And then the reasoning I would give for, like, Baba Yaga even doing this in the first place is, like, she's old, she's ready to bring another little hag into the world, and so she needs to produce an heir, and that's why she is willing to marry this random bard that showed up. That's option one. Option two. The town witch is not actually Baba Yaga. She is a separate, she's her own person. You didn't explain if she knew whether that she was the granddaughter of Baba Yaga, but that doesn't really matter.
Well, and this is a good point, because it is at least not clear to me if the cat folk knows that this connection exists yet. So
we don't know who knows.
Yeah.
Hags are fae, and fae love to bargain, and they hate when they get the short end of a deal. So in Baba Yaga's case, she either the bard maybe didn't ask her permission, and she's offended by that. Like, you are taking my granddaughter's hand in marriage. You didn't ask me.
Get her blessing.
You didn't get my blessing. Or I am graciously gifting you my granddaughter's hand in marriage, even though you didn't ask. I should be getting something in return for that. And time's running out. Where's my gift? So she could appear to the party, maybe the eve before an important battle that's going to take place, and make an offering in the guise of it being her granddaughter's dowry. And the dowry is a beautiful set of magical bracers that on surface value appear to
cast fist to face.
No, something that will enhance the bard's ability to produce music in some way. But they're cursed. Like, duh. You took her granddaughter's hand in marriage, so it's only right that she gets your hands.
Oh, okay.
So when the bracers are put on, they constrict at the wrists and like stop all blood flow to the hands. The only way to get the bracers off is to remove your hands, at which point, affected by the curse, they scurry away into the nearest shadow,
Thing style.
and
Yeah.
they become Baba Yaga's hands. Alternatively, if you don't want this person to completely lose their hands before a battle, they become Baba Yaga's hands in a more, like,
abstract
sense. So she gains the ability to control his hands.
Right. That's what I was
at any
thinking.
point that she chooses.
Yeah.
And of course, she chooses to commit atrocities with them.
Yeah.
So you're in a tavern, suddenly you lose control of your hands, grabs a knife, throws it across the room, and embeds itself in someone's neck.
Could happen. Yeah,
It
that's
could
what I
happen.
was thinking. It's not like you necessarily have to get rid of the hands. It's just they're gonna be partially controlled
Yeah.
by, Baba Yaga, or, maybe the BBEG if you wanted to tie this to this like mystery bad guy of the campaign as well.
Or it just makes Baba Yaga well, maybe not the BBEG, but it
The
makes her something that they have to contend with.
Yeah.
And if they made a deal with her to help them against the BBEG, it doesn't necessarily negate that, because if you bargained with her, she has to hold up her end of the bargain on that deal. This
Yeah.
is a completely separate deal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I'm just imagining the the sort of shenanigans that this could lead to, like depending on how silly your campaign is. This is like any time your party's having a rest, whatever. This guy's not on watch. He's sleeping. Whoever's on watch sees like the hands,
The hands are
trying to
flopping
do stuff,
around.
like they're writing, or they're like trying to crawl away and like get him to do something in his sleep. Yeah. I think that's a really fun way to introduce what the actual effect of this thing is that they'll have to learn and kind of figure out who's in
Right.
control.
And I don't know if this is 5e or not, or like what level they are. Obviously, the spell Remove Curse exists. For that spell, I usually introduce, like, you need some kind of specific, what's it called?
Antidote, basically.
No, like, what are the things that you need to have to cast a spell?
Components?
Component. You need a specific component to cast this particular Remove Curse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that, it's still possible to remove the curse without direct intervention from
Yeah.
Baba Yaga, but you have to
need
look
this
for it.
one thing.
Yeah, you have to find it. And that could be like a bit of soot from Baba Yaga's cauldron, which would mean sneaking into her hut and getting some of that, or some slime from her swamp to make
Yeah.
it to make the bracers slippery so they'll pop off.
Yeah.
When
Or-
otherwise the only way to get them off would be to cut off his hands.
Yeah. I'm thinking, or it's something that belongs to one of these other allies from like the shadow plane, so they have to kind of choose between like Baba Yaga or these other people they made connections with now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are my ideas. I hope you
Awesome.
like them.
Yeah.
And there should be a place to for them to comment if they used one of these ideas and how it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be able to comment on this YouTube video, just as anybody, can comment on this
You.
YouTube video. Again, with information. If you want to introduce a little chaos to your campaign, leave the comment below with some information about, you said like the characters, the main bad guy, I guess other bad guys, or like and things that could be exploited, right?
Yeah, it would have to be like whatever bad guy would be responsible for this chaos.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can willy-nilly come up with bad guys too.
Yeah. And, like an important personal connection or item that is in your campaign.
Yeah. Just needs to be a couple pieces so we have enough to work with there. But other than that little call to action to comment if you want some chaos, again, the main one will be going to the link in the description for World Builder Club month 2, so you can see what the prompt is, and at your leisure in the next couple weeks, it'll be basically February 15th as kind of the deadline for when to submit if it's going to potentially make it into the podcast. Yeah, to leave your little prompt so we can all make cool stuff together this year.
Or destroy cool stuff together.
Yep. All right. Didn't think about how to end the show, so just going to say, keep building.
Goodbye, gamers.
Oh, yeah, that works. And one more thing that I forgot to say and should have was that this campaign, Under the Shadow of Hellfast Spire, is potentially live on Kickstarter now. It'll be live February 10th. I think this episode is going up before then, but this is my new Shadow Dark zine, obviously applicable to any D20 fantasy RPG of some dark, pulpy fantasy action. It's this little setting and a dungeon, and there's magic items and monsters and other cool stuff in there. So check it out. Also, link below. Okay, bye, gamers.